Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It's Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. I just realized my camera is super in the wrong position. I guess I should have checked that before I went live. My name is Jennifer Cotton, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas. And that means I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, and more with stamps, ink, paper, and lots of cool tools. So welcome. If this is your first time watching, thank you for being here. And if you are coming back, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I do this as a full-time job. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years now. And so just watching this video on YouTube or Facebook helps me, as well as commenting, sharing, etc. It all helps me out. So thank you so much for doing that. I saw Susan come on this morning. Hello, Susan, on YouTube, I believe. Yay. And then Terry and Teresa, good morning. Good morning, hot tamale to Teresa. Who else is here? Lori, good morning. Linda, Marsha, Pat. Hey, Marsha, I'm live on YouTube. You can check it out. Kathy, and that's the same Pat, but thank you for sharing. I was like, is that Pat? My other Pat? Kathy, good morning. Janet in North Carolina. Lorraine, good morning. Everybody, great to see you. I'm going to check YouTube again because it says no video. Someone told me no video is showing. Let me go to my channel on YouTube. So thank you guys for being here. Today I will be making 3 cards, and I am focusing on the retiring in colors, but I am using 2 bundles as well. Let me go to my channel here. And sorry, I'm watching the YouTube feed here. Yeah. So you have to skip the commercials on YouTube. Yes, after you skip the ads, it should be there. Okay. Let's close that. Anyway, so on YouTube, I don't know if you can hear me, but close the ads just to get to that video. Good morning to Sherry and Joyce in North Carolina. Robin, good morning. Tammy, Sherry is watching on YouTube. Good morning. Landa, hello. I know you're busy today. Susan liked and shared. Thank you so much. Jean, Linda Brady, Jean shared, Linda shared. Thank you guys so much. So the stamp sets I'll be using today are Celebrate Sunflowers and Pansy Patch. Yay! I realize they're backwards with this camera. I don't even remember if they're always backwards because I'm using a new setup here. Anyway, I'll have to check on that later and see if I can mirror it, but I don't know. I think it is backwards today. Let me see if there's a setting. No. Yeah, I'll have to deal with that another time. But anyway, so these bundles are on sale right now, and I'll talk about that later. And then I will be working with the in colors that are about to retire. So you'll get to see that as well. Okay, so as you come on this video, you can comment, say hi, ask a question, give suggestions, etc. And that will get you entered to win the cards I'm going to make today. Which is 3, as I think I said multiple times, but because it helps me out. And then if you share the video, just make sure you comment that you shared so I will know to get you entered again to win those cards. I see Becky is here as well as Pam. Good morning, ladies. Good to see you. Okay, so upcoming events. I have my monthly classes actually just happened. And so it's too late to register for last month's classes. But just so you know, when I offer events, which I do this as a full-time job, so I offer lots of events, They're going to always include a PDF tutorial. Everything's going to be cut, die cut, punched, embossed that we possibly can, except for your designer paper or kit components. You will cut those with the PDF instructions. And then my 4 monthly classes that anyone can take every month are card class, scrapbook class, Stamp-A-Stack, and sampler. And they are offered in person to go, but check out the supplies from me and stamp with them at your house. So next month, my email, never mind, I'm not going to say my email. Next month, I am just going to quickly tell you what we're going to use in those classes so you can be ready to register when I get the links ready. They're not ready yet, but they'll be ready by April 1st. And these classes are card class, Cactus Cuties. So we're going to make some adorable cards for card class, 4 cards for $15 free with a $20 order. Scrapbook class is going to be 3 12 by 12 scrapbook pages. We will make a Mother's Day theme, but you can always just make it like, you don't have to do Mother's Day. You can make it generic, feminine type theme. And then page 1 of our just a generic birthday page. So we'll be using flowering rain boots for the Mother's Day, as well as party puffins and biggest wish for our birthday pages. And then those are 15 free with a $20 order. Sampler is going to be the On the Horizon bundle. Very exciting. It's going to make a beautiful sampler with sort of beach looking scenes, but just also nature. Like, it's going to be really nice. And it could be masculine as well. We have Father's Day coming up. And then our Stamp-A-Stack will use the Crane of Fortune bundle. I forgot to write it in these notes. Plus 1 extra set for greetings, to add additional greetings. And I haven't decided for sure yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to use Create with Friends. So, but I need to see how the designs come out before I make that official. Let me see here. Good morning, Debbie. Pat says, love her party puffins. Yes, and I haven't used those stamps enough, so I think they will be great. Yay, Janet, you can watch on your TV. Awesome, because it's on YouTube. Kathy shared, Pam shared. Thank you, guys. Pam loves cards. Yes. And we're more caught up right now with our card winners. I just mailed, I think, 3 packets this week to the most recent video card winners. Okay, I do have 2 new classes coming up with Alejandra, but we haven't finalized our details yet, but I can sort of give you a sneak peek. And the registration links will be out by April 1st. Alejandra is a team member as well as friend of mine, and we do some events together throughout the year. So she designs half, I design half. You get to see both of our styles. You get to see instruction from each of us, videos, etc. So we're going to have our Friendly Hello class, which is going to include a free stamp set and half a pack of designer paper. All of the details, price, and what's included with the fee will come out by April 1st. And, but you're going to make a bunch of projects and have a Facebook party and so on. But I do know you'll need to register by April 13th. So once that info comes out, get on it. And then within that, you'll have an add-on bonus class you can take with the Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper, which you'll receive at least a partial pack with your fee. And then we'll use a specific stamp set. We're still determining these details. And you can add that class on when you register. So it's going to be fun. Keep your eye out for those links. As soon as we get them ready, we will post them and share them with our customers. All right. Retreats, you can still sign up. We're looking for people for our in-person retreat in May 2022 in Temple, Texas at Rockin' R Retreats. We have plenty of space left for registrants to come to that. Your fee is going to include a bed, all your meals, at least 10 make and takes, $50 in merchandise, and gifts and a bag. So if you want to register for those, watch for my email. And it normally comes out at 3 o'clock, but today it's going to be noon, and I may start making it noon from now on. So, we will monitor, there's details on my end involved that allow me to send it out earlier. So anyway, it's going to go out at noon today. I've already scheduled it. And it is, we'll have the links to register for these events that have links. Okay. So I think, who said they switched to YouTube? Hannah or Debbie? I just saw it and then I forgot who said it. Debbie switched to YouTube to view. Awesome. I don't have enough monitors here to put on the YouTube feed, so hopefully it's good. But I can see the YouTube comments. So Lisa, first time catching me. Thank you, Lisa, on YouTube. I'm just starting to stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Last week was my first time. So thank you, Lisa. Diane in North Carolina. Hello, Diana. I'm sorry. And thank you for sharing. Hey, Beth. Good to see you. And Elizabeth. Good morning. Hey, Margie. Facebook user. Hello. It doesn't show me your name. It might be on the other, my other screen over here. No, that's interesting. It doesn't show the person on the Facebook feed. Beverly. Good morning. And Marilyn, hello. Robin, YouTube on TV. I didn't even think about that option, which is kind of scary. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. Happy Tuesday to you, Beverly. By the way, normally I go live on Thursday. So if this is your first time seeing me, it's normally Thursday at 9 a.m. Central. But today, or this week, I'm going on a retreat. Thursday morning, I will be leaving to go set up this retreat. So I won't be here to do that video. So thank you guys for watching. Terry, I am not technically near the tornadoes. They were, I believe, about 90 miles from where I live. But we were, we had, at one point, they said we could have some weather in where I live personally. But luckily, we just got a lot of rain and a little bit of winds here. So, yeah. And thank goodness, in general, there weren't any injuries where it happened in Texas yesterday. But thank you for asking. Okay. Cruise. Oh, by the way, we have a retreat in August as well that you can attend in person. And those will both be offered to go. We get to see the new catalog tomorrow. Who's excited? Who's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out there? Who's excited? We get to see the new catalog tomorrow. And I'm trying to look, if you see me looking at the side, I'm trying to see if how my feed is. It looked like it was glitchy. Anyway, and so April and I might be able to figure out what we're going to use this weekend. It depends. It's harder to do it with a digital copy than the copy in your hands. So, but anyway, we get to see the new catalog tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you want to join Stampin' Up, join today so you can see that catalog tomorrow online. So anyway, those will be offered to go as well. So January 2023 cruise is sold out currently. We'll update you if we have spots open, but January 28th, 2024, out of Galveston, Texas on Harmony of the Seas crafting cruise. We have plenty of space, of course, at this time. So register now so that you get to get in on that cruise. It's going to Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, Mexico, and Cozumel, Mexico. For me, it's a new ship, Harmony of the Seas, that I've never been on before. So again, info will be in that email that goes out. You can also join my VIP Facebook group and my Simply Spoiled Retreats Facebook groups to get more info on those things. I'm going to actually let me share this screen real quick. So the April paper pumpkin is going to be all about change is beautiful. You're going to make 9 stunning cards with a unique folding technique, I should say, to commemorate moments of change. The designs are inspired by the natural cycles of change found in nature. And it includes a melon mambo ink spot, printed card bases, printed envelopes, of course, die cut pieces, and iridescent sea glass, as well as your adhesive to make that kit. So I'm going to show last month's paper pumpkin right now, which I just got yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And this one, I know, Diana, me too. I'm so excited for the new catalog tomorrow. I need to set an alarm because I'm also packing for retreat, which is a whole day ordeal for me just because I don't know if I'm unorganized or what, but anyway. Okay, so when you get the paper pumpkin, it comes in a box. This one had a special design last month in March. It tells you on the side what month it is and what the name of it is. It comes to your house directly. You get instructions, which is what this packet is here. You get a stamp set. Now, in March's kit, we got a bonus stamp set for free. This is a huge, gorgeous stamp set. This was totally free, but normally, see, it was a thank you. But normally you get a stamp set that's exclusive that cannot be purchased anywhere else. So this is the one which I love. It has hello, thanks, congratulations, a little note, thinking of you. I will always be here for you. Plus this like a background stamp and some leaves. So it's a great stamp set in this paper pumpkin. Then we got some ribbon to complete our projects, Misty Moonlight ink. I have one of these kits available, by the way. Adhesive, like I said, and then embellishments. So in this case, some like iridescent rhinestones. And then look at these card bases. Gorgeous. They match the New Horizon, the stuff I'm going to be using for the sampler this month. And then our envelopes were fully printed this time. Gorgeous. And then die cut pieces to be able to, or that you'll need, I should say, to finish the projects. That one's embossed. And the, what was I going to say right here? There's always white pieces to stamp your greetings on to add to your projects. Okay, so Terry, are you saying your paper pumpkin is in picking? That happened to me last month because I had to put a new credit card on file and I was too slow. Okay, so that box, if you want to get it, you can, of course, the one with the butterflies for April, you need to get it by April 10th. That is the deadline. You can go to my store and go to shop products, other products, kits - paper pumpkin to get a prepaid version. Or you can just go to the link that will be in this email in Facebook and YouTube, and you can pre-purchase, you can subscribe for $23.50 a month, including shipping. So you save money when you subscribe. You can cancel anytime, but otherwise you'll just get it every month automatically, unless your credit card gets canceled like mine did. And then either way, to do either one of those, the deadline is the 10th of each month. Okay, I want to make sure, look here real quick and catch up on these, what am I saying? Comments. Janet's excited for tomorrow. Yes, enjoy. Oh yes, as demonstrators, we are seeing sneak peeks of the new in colors. We know the names and color of 4 of them now. But tomorrow we'll get to see what products. Is there going to be ribbon, embellishments with those in colors, plus all the other products, like every new product and what is retiring. It's all tomorrow. So yes, we are very excited. Hey, Charlotte, good morning to you. Marilyn, by the way, on YouTube. So awesome. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Janet hasn't got her paper pumpkin yet. Maybe, I don't think I got mine early. I think I got it at my normal time. It's usually, I'm one of the later ones to get mine out of like the whole company. But anyway, so that's what paper pumpkin is. It's pretty awesome. Next up, specials. We have this 20% off sale going on. It ends on March 31st, or while supplies last. You can get the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for only $48. Great deal. So definitely take advantage of that by March 31st, and just know that it's while supplies last. And then there's 13 bundles that are 20% off instead of 10% off. I showed each bundle like physically last week on my live, like I showed them like this. But so since I did that already, I won't do it again today. If you would like to see that, you can check out that video. The only one I don't own is All Squared Away. But, you know, I own everything else. So I own 12 out of 13 bundles that are 20% off. So that is a great deal. And then what else is going on? Of course, we have products that are available while supplies last. So the Altogether products, they are, I'm trying to pull that camera up a little bit. They are, let me start over. What is while supplies last is the bundle, so stamp set and dies, and the designer paper. These new Stampin' Blends will be in the new annual catalog. So you can still get those later, but the designer paper, Altogether, Here Together stamp set, Here For You dies, or the bundle are while supplies last. Love these products. I wish it wasn't while supplies last, but it is. And then Waves of the Ocean, I showed this last week. You can get this, the accessories while supplies last, the designer paper, the foil, and the rhinestones. But this bundle will be in that new catalog we get to see tomorrow. So those are, or that's what that is. Okay, there you go. What else is going on? So we are, actually, I'm going to talk about that after I just show you real quick my online ordering special. But so I was going to talk about the retiring list and colors coming out. So before we do that, I want to show you that if you place an online order with me in March 2022 with the monthly host code, which is right here on the screen, KBWYP4YM. So you go to my online store and you place your order, but before you close it, you go to the shopping cart, you click checkout. Oh, sorry, you don't click checkout. You go to the shopping cart, and above the word checkout, you click add host code. And that will not only add the host code for you, but it will make sure you're shopping with me if you weren't already, if you intend to shop with me. And this is the class packet that if your order is $25 or more, you will receive these 4 cards, the class packet, to stamp and assemble at home for free. It even includes shipping. And then if your order with that host code is $50 or more, you're also going to get a free full pack of Bumble Bee Trinkets, which I love those Bumble Bee Trinkets so much. So that is the online ordering special. If you have any questions on that or need help ordering, let me know. And what was I going to say? Oh, if your order is $150 or more, then don't use the host code and you will get all those gifts from me. But Stampin' Up will give you $50. That's $15 in free merchandise. All right, let's fill up this screen with some retiring in colors. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Stampin' Up is releasing, and it's going live, our last chance list from the annual catalog. So I'm going to put this graphic up real quick. These are the in colors you want to buy today, especially your ink refills and your ink pads, in my Jennifer Cotton's opinion. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But in my opinion, those will probably go out first. We currently have the Misty Moonlight ink refill is low inventory. I'm sorry, it's not available, but it's coming back March 28th. And then whatever comes back, that'll be it for the inventory for that. So while supplies last. And then ink pads, Cinnamon Cider and Misty Moonlight are currently, as of this morning, low inventory. And on ink refills, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, and Magenta ink refills are low inventory. So hopefully you get what I'm saying. Get your ink refills, get your ink pads, Now, you also can get your, stock up in your cardstock. I have no clue how much inventory they have on that. So today in these cards, I will be using this 2020 to 2022 in color 6x6 designer paper. Of course, this most likely, well, yes, it will be while supplies last tomorrow because these colors are retiring. So I'll flip through these designs real quick. You basically get the same designs repeated in all of those in colors: magenta, bumblebee, just jade, cinnamon cider, and misty moonlight. So it's 6x6, and tomorrow it will be while supplies last. And I'm using it on my cards today. We also have these 2020 to 2022 in color square gems that should be while supplies last starting tomorrow. I mean, never say never with Stampin' Up, but according to this color's retiring, they should retire. I'm using the Bumblebee gingham ribbon on my cards today, on one or two of them. And so I'm expecting that to retire because it's Bumblebee. Again, if I'm wrong, that's because they decided to do what they want. Of course, all the ink pads, and then whatever other products come in these colors in general will probably retire. These are cards I showed last week that I have found when I was organizing some samples. And so they happen to use the Celebrate Sunflowers, which I will be using today on one of my cards, the first one actually. This is a bundle that's 20% off right now, but they show these in colors beautifully and how gorgeous they are and how you can do monochromatic cards with these colors. So check out these colors, see what you need. Okay, so our first card, we're going to use Celebrate Sunflowers bundle. Don't forget, over on my blog today, later this afternoon, I will post links in addition to a supply list, a full supply list for all of the cards, measurements. Then I will also post these recipe cards that you can print. So you'll just click on that link and print if you want those. And then it just lists all the supplies and the measurements here. So that's just a new tool I am offering. And if you're a demonstrator and you want that tool, it is on my Stampin' Stuff. And if you need info on that or don't understand how to use it, just contact me. Okay, so Celebrate Sunflowers, of course, is a bundle. The sunflower dies are bundled with it. And I've used these in a Facebook Live, a long time ago when this bundle first came out, I believe. But you get the dies to cut out the sunflower, the leaf dies. You can cut out the smaller sunflower image. A center. I knew there was a center. I had a whole question in my head about that. Too late to use it now. Some leaves, like some branches, I should say, with leaves on them. Detail leaves, etc. So these are awesome dies, which I will be using that one, I believe, today. Let me see if I've pretty die cut. Yes. So I'll be using the one that cuts out the full stamped sunflower. Okay, let me check on your comments. I saw Sharon is sharing. Thank you. Hey, Stella. Thanks, Terry. Pat got her paper pumpkin yesterday as well. Yesterday was Monday, yeah, so I got mine yesterday. I was getting myself confused on what day of the week it is. Hey, Lori. Yes, Pat, sells out fast. Hey, Linda in Idaho. So, Stephanie, it might be retiring, but we don't actually know that officially yet. There was some discussion over in the leaders group about that, but I think, in my opinion, the way it read is it might retire. Like anything on the sale might retire. But anyway, we'll know officially tomorrow for sure. But hey, buy it today just in case. Right? Okay, so for this card, I have a Bumblebee card base, retiring color, 5.5 by 8.5. So I took my 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it in half. And then, so that's my card base. And you get 2 cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock. If you're new to stamping, anyone can stamp. So easy. You cut your 8.5 by 11 in half. You'll have a card base. And I'm going to fold that in half with my bone folder, which will make it less wrinkled on the inside if I use this tool instead of my finger. And then I'm going to make my favorite fun fold card here, a Z fold card. So we're just going to fold the front section all the way back to the left and use the bone folder, of course. You can press really firm when you're using the bone folder for these kind of creases to get really good folds. You do not, there's a lot of times where we do need to be gentle in stamping, but that's not one of them. So there's the Z fold. And then we have a piece of basic white cardstock, 4 inches by 5 1/4, that will go inside the card. Then we have some of that in color 6x6 designer paper that's retiring. It is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the front flap there. I've pre-die cut that detail sunflower, which gorgeous. If this does retire, definitely sad. Also, these are the colors for the Ukraine sunflower images you've been seeing. So it goes along with that as well. And then I have a scrap here of Bumblebee cardstock. So for this card, I'm using 3. Excuse me. Clear my throat. I don't know why my throat is or my voice is scratchy today. I don't think it was before I started the video, but who knows. Okay, so for my stamping, I'm going to stamp the sunflower in cinnamon cider. By the way, which color are you going to miss the most? Because the majority that I see people say is Misty Moonlight. That is not the one for me. That's probably literally the last one on the list. I don't hate it. It's just not like a go-to. Let me take a drink of water and see if this helps. I didn't even stay up late or not get enough sleep. I don't know what's up. Anyway, I love cinnamon cider. I think I'll miss it the most because this is Jennifer, logic, which is always weird. I think it's a great color for our terracotta pots, things like this with the flowers. It's just a good brownish, terracotta-ish color to me that it's hard to replace with what we currently have. Although Cajun craze a little bit, but anyway, that's just my opinion. And then out of the rest, I think probably just Jade would be next. And then Magenta and Bumblebee and Misty is my last that I will be missing. But what color are you going to miss the most? Now, of course, these could come back in future years. We don't know until that happens. So bring back cinnamon cider if you do. Stamping up. So I'm just tapping all over gently, but different spots, moving the stamp all around. And I'm just going to stamp that nice and firm in cinnamon cider. See? Such a good color. And I do have a friend who can't stand this color. This stamp is so good. Like how detailed it is. Look at the center of that. Okay. Anyway. And then what else are we stamping? Our greeting and this other flower. So I'm going to use Bumblebee next on this white that will be on the inside of my card. So I want something to show down here in the corner, and then I'll place my greeting up here where it will be hidden when that flower is in the center. So Bumblebee, my stamp is just stained, yes. I'm going to ink up the entire stamp. This is the smaller sunflower that has leaves with it. The other one, you stamp the leaves separate. But we're not going to use the leaves. And there is a die that cuts this out. But I'm going to ink up the entire stamp because it never fails. If I only want a portion inked up and I try to only ink that portion, I mess up and miss a spot. Anyway, and I'm going to stamp it down here in the bottom right-hand corner, hanging off the edge where the leaves basically don't make it onto the card. And then I will add a flower. I think I want that a little further in. I'm going to flip it over and try again. And then I will add a sunflower right above that to the right and right below it to the left, just a little tiny portion of the sunflowers there. So just to make a little corner image. And then my greeting will be Misty Moonlight, which is a good color. It's just not my go-to. And this stamp says, know that you are loved. This is from all the stamps on this card are from Celebrate Sunflowers. And I do think this greeting is great if you are making cards to send to Ukraine. Just that statement, know that you are loved. Okay, so there's that. And then I just need to, die cut out my flower, a large one. So, of course, I'm going to grab my mini Stamp Cut and Emboss machine because it's only $48 instead of $60 through March 31st or while supplies last. So I'm grabbing all the pieces. Sorry. I've been showing this every week pretty much since the sale started. But in case, I'll show it again. Here's the machine. It is mini. It's portable. Take it with you to go to a friend's house to stamp, retreats, on your like this work surface where you have hardly any space. It fits great, etc. It's about 3.5 inches wide. I almost dropped the ruler off the other side. Yep, 3.5. So whatever is 3.5 wide will fit on it. Your paper can't be any wider than 3.5 as well. And it comes with everything you need to do any embossing and die cutting, Stampin' Up! Sales. And it comes with instructions. So I'm just going to use the die cutting plates. And it just opens up like this. I keep one plate on these. Number 1 goes on bottom. These number 2 plates, I keep one that I cut on and one that I do not cut on. That will help your plates stay flat and straight. Didn't think about that when I cut the scrap. Flat and straight. And there's another reason. The top plate, when it has all these little particles of cardstock and lines on it, that can embed or emboss onto your image if you have that on top. It's pushing down when it goes through. Okay. Let's see. Yep. It's been a while since I used this flower. Of course, I made my sample, but I always have to just align this because the sunflower is not like symmetrical, which is good. But anyway, I always have to just kind of turn and turn and turn until I get it aligned. There is a petal right here on the right or on my right that you can kind of use as a guide, but I always can't find it visually when I'm looking for it. So anyway, you can mark your dies or mark your stamp or whatever you want to do for all that stuff. But I just spin and spin and spin. And then just put that top plate on top and roll it through. Sorry, it's shaking the whole table. And then, of course, the die cuts everything out. If you lined it up properly, it cuts it out perfectly. And it's amazing. And it only needs to go through one time unless it's a super intricate die. And now we can assemble this card. So I have stamp and seal. Let me see if anybody had any questions. Terry literally just got the Stamp and Cut and Emboss mini. Oh, the big one or I think she means the mini. Oh, you said mini. And her 3, let me put this just because I can do it. Look, her 3-year-old niece loves it. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Terry. Very cool. Hey, Jen. Hey, Debbie. I'm glad you love it. Hey, Peggy. Good to see you. Yep, Janet. Misty Moonlight's your favorite. Jean, you're with me. Cinnamon Cider. And Stephanie, Misty and Cinnamon Cider. Chris, allergies. Love Bumblebee and the ribbon. Oh, my goodness. Yes, that ribbon is really cute. Facebook user Cinnamon Cider, Lori, Misty Moonlight. Hey, maybe it's a race between Misty and Cinnamon. That could be. Stephanie, that's funny. No, I don't have any inside dirt on what's retiring. She said she read my title and thought what I was saying, about the stamp set retiring. No, but a lot of people, the reason I thought you said that, Stephanie, is a lot of people are, what's the word? Predicting, guessing, assuming, I'm trying to flip here, that anything in this sale is retiring. I don't know if that's true. So we will see tomorrow. But that's funny because I just thought you were saying it for the other reason. Yeah, we'll see. I don't have any dirt, unfortunately. Okay, so I placed the white cardstock inside the card base. Now I will place this designer paper on the left front flap. I'm just using a little Stampin' Seal. It's really strong, so you don't need a ton of it. And then I'm going to take this Bumblebee gingham ribbon, which I'm assuming it's going to retire tomorrow. We did carry over a few accessories from In Colors that retired last year. That's why I'm scared to say anything like for certain till I see the list. By the way, if anyone wants to join today so you can see that stuff tomorrow, it's only $99. You get to pick 125, including the sale products and including like the waves and the all together and all that. Okay, so I'm going to tie a bow. So I wrapped the ribbon around just that front left flap over the designer paper. And then I, tied it so I can tie a bow so it's crossed over like a plus sign. And now I'm going to grab these reverse tweezers and place them on the cross where you want someone's finger to hold it for you. And then I'm going to flip my project upside down and tie a bow. But this ribbon is going sideways on the card, sideways to the direction the card is up and down. Anyway, so the bow will still kind of be not straight, but anyway, it's fine. I think y'all know what I mean. It'll be more up and down instead of left to right. Okay, so just tie your bow. And then it's funny, the other day somebody told me every time they flip their card upside down to tie the bow is wrong. I think Landa said that. Anyway, somebody at class. Okay, not bad. So I will trim my ribbon off on each end. These awesome paper snips. So my sunflower is going to go up here toward the top. So I'm measuring, and I think I want to move that ribbon up a little so it'll be more centered in that little section down there. So luckily you can just slide it when you wrap it all the way around a project. Yep, that'll be better. And then I'll grab my silicone craft sheet because I'm adding adhesive to something skinny. And I want to point out, use this white background here. When you die cut this detail flower that fits perfectly on top of the stamped flower, by the way, of course you want to poke out all the pieces that fall out from the petals, but there are all these little holes in the center. Like there's a solid center section, but then there's holes in it. I don't poke all of those out. If you can see, the ones that are poked out just fell out. Why? Because it's too much trouble for me. And then there's these other holes that are just like piercings that there's nothing to poke out. Well, that's showing on the video. I feel like not very well. Anyway, so there's piercings, and then there's actually holes that are just like pure paper piercer size holes. So you can poke those out, but I don't. Now, sometimes when I do this part where I put the adhesive on that solid section only, it pulls some of those out. I don't care if they're pulled out. I'm just not going to go to the trouble to do it myself. So I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet just in case I have excess adhesive. And I'm adding adhesive only to that solid center section. I like these petals to be loose, these die cut petals. And then you just align this just like the die. You find I see a piece of paper here that needs to come out. You find the exact, there it is, match up basically. So it does match exactly. Okay. And then we'll just attach this to the front only with adhesive on the left side of the flower. So you can turn it, of course, any direction you want for placement. I'm just going to go with a random placement sort of. So what I'll do is flip the flower upside down, top to bottom. I want it to be right in the center, basically half on the left, half on the right. And then I'll grab my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I always use dimensionals for these cards. And the reason I have it half and half on the back side is so I can see where to align my dimensionals to keep them over on the side I want, where they won't stick to this white inside part. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm just going to use 5. Now I can let it go. It is a little more challenging when it's a weird shape like this and not a rectangle or something. Anyway, as long as you remember where you had those dimensionals, you should be fine. And then make sure they didn't show or bleed over to the inside. We're good to go. And that is the finished card. That's it. Know that you are loved. Get the sunflowers, get the Misty and the Bumblebee, both retiring, Bumblebee ribbon retiring. And my bow came out a little better on my first one. Bring that down. Hey, Terry. Oh, sorry. Julie is saying hi to Terry, but hello, Terry. Julie, see you later. No problem. Janet is asking, is anyone else, where is it? Is anyone else having audio getting very soft at times on YouTube version, or is it just me? So if anyone can answer that. Thank you, Marcia. Thanks, Pam. If y'all want to win these, you're entered for commenting. But if you haven't commented yet, make sure you comment. You can have a chance to win one of this card plus the next 2 I'm going to make. Thank you, Janet and Pam and Marcia, Lorraine, Peggy. Thank you guys so much. I also will try to speak up because it could be me just not paying attention and my voice going lower. So I'll try to do that as well. Okay, the next 2 cards I'm going to make are using the Pansy Patch bundle. Not these dies, though. Pansy Patch, which this is another one that I have used. Thank you guys for the hearts and thumbs up and like other emojis. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys love that color combo. I definitely specifically was trying to only use the in colors this time. So that's where I came up with it. Usually I get my color combos from designer paper. Okay, so Pansy Patch is one I've also used on Facebook Lives before, when this product first came out. In fact, I did a whole thing where I showed how to stamp the flowers. All the pieces you need to combine to create one flower. So I forgot I was going to post a picture of this on today's blog post. So I need to remember to do that as well, this picture here. But because I've already made the blog post and I didn't do that. And then also how to assemble the die cut images. So I showed this in a video before. Today, I'm just going to go ahead and make a couple of cards with the Pansy Patch bundle, which is 20% off right now. Or, but just like we were talking about with the sunflowers, we don't know if that's going to be on the retiring list, but we'll check it out tomorrow. Okay. I have my supplies in baggies today. If you noticed, I don't normally do that, but it was because I actually designed these last week when I designed last week's Facebook Lives. And I was like, how am I going to keep track of all this? Because I usually just lay it on this table loose. Anyway, so I did baggies, but this is not a class I'm offering. Usually that's what the baggie indicates. Okay, so for this card, we are going to have a basic white card base, 5.5, 8.5. We'll fold it in half with the bone folder. And then the next layer is basic white, 4 by 5 1/4, but I am going to emboss that with the Hive embossing folder. Love this folder. It's in our mini catalog, so it won't be retiring yet, but if it does retire, we'll know about that towards June, May probably. Then our next layers or pieces, in no particular order, have 2 pre-die cut circles from the Layering Circles dies, which is just a bunch of circles in all different sizes with a scallop and a solid circle. So the basic white circle is 2 5/8. And then, of course, the scallop is just a little bigger, and that's Magenta Madness, retiring color, Magenta Madness. And then I have a scrap of basic white here. And last but not least, a piece of that 6x6 in color designer paper in Magenta Madness. It is 1 3/4 by 5. The design I'm going to use is the side that has the like lines with dots going across, and I cut it where they're going across instead of up and down. The back side is just like square pattern with little X's. What was I going to say about this paper? Oh, for my blind customers, all of these papers, it's just on each sheet that's, for example, the Magenta Madness, it's light and dark magenta only. No other colors, maybe a little bit of white, but that's it. So anyway, okay. Let me do my stamping first. We'll just emboss that real quick for when it's time. Let me do my stamping first. So I'm going to stamp on the white circle and the white scrap. Grab all these stamps. And the colors I'm using are Magenta Madness, Just Jade, and Bumble Bee for this card. My scratch paper here. I think I'm going to fold this in half. This is our Stampin' Up! Grid paper, by the way. It is in our annual catalog. Okay, so I'm going to do the circle first. In Magenta Madness, my greeting, all of these stamps are from Pansy Patch. My greeting is going to say, the little things you do make such a big difference. And I'm going to tap, tap, tap gently, but I'm going to the corners because I see that in the middle of my ink pad is kind of dry. You can just see that sometimes visually. So I'm going to do the 4 corners there. And then I'm just going to stamp this down at the bottom of the circle, but toward the right. Just hold it down nice and firm. Don't forget, with photopolymer stamps, if you don't have a good stamping surface, which means hard, very firm and hard and flat, like a countertop surface. If you don't have that, grab the Stampin' Pierce mat, which is currently not orderable, but it's coming back. So in the meantime, you can try like a catalog or something else underneath, and just test it on scratch paper until you get a good image, especially with these solid stamps. Okay, so I'm going to make this small. Actually, I'm going to do the leaf first. I'm going to do this leaf, but I'm going to make this small flower. So it will be the solid image, then the detail image right on top, then that center section of the pansy, then the very dot center of the pansy. Stamp all of those, which you'll see here. But I do want to add the leaves first in Just Jade. So the leaf, there's a larger leaf and a smaller one. and I'm using the smaller one. This is photopolymer. Oh, actually, I'm going to use, let me look at these leaves. I'm using the skinnier one. There's like a fatter one and a skinnier one. I'm using the skinnier one. So they're not really large and small. They're just different sort of shapes. Anyway, each of the leaves have 2 steps. So there is the solid step, which will be your lighter color. So to get this light in Just Jade, I'm going to ink it up like normal. Tap, 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 lots of places. Don't press hard. Don't get ink on the edges. Stamp it on my scratch paper. And then I'm going to add a leaf. Actually, I'll do this one first. Above the greeting, like pointing down toward the greeting, because my flowers will go above that. And then I'll add one to the right of that the same way. Stamp off. Yeah, right there. Then I'm going to add step 2, the detail image right on top in full strength Just Jade ink. So if you don't have Pansy Patch yet or Celebrate Sunflowers, it's a great time to get these awesome stamps. Now for this, I'm just trying to align it well without putting my head all the way in the camera. But it's a 2-step stamp. So, and it's one where you do kind of want to try to pay good attention to where you're aligning those images so that you don't like have the details going out of the leaf there. Okay, and then my flowers will actually be on the scrap, and we are going to die cut those out. So they are Magenta Madness. So the solid flower, just like the leaf, I'm going to ink it up, this time on the edges here though. Stamp off on scratch paper. There's something on that stamp. Stamp onto my scrap. You'll see that there's like some, I don't know what it is actually, dirt or lint. It's fine though. And then I'll repeat that because I need to. So that's the light version, light whatever. And then the detail will go right on top in Magenta Madness full strength. If I don't align it well, if it's a little off, I don't care. But if I don't align it well, I will redo real quick. With these stamps that are 2-step like this, sometimes to me, it's easier to stamp the detail one first, and sometimes it's easier to do the solid one first, and it can vary. So just whatever works best for you. To me, there's not a right or wrong, unless you've tested it and you're like, nah, don't do it that other way because it's horrible. Okay, and then there's a center portion that's like a darker section in the middle of the flower. And when you stamp that, you want to align the hole right in the center of this image with the hole on the other stamped image. So you want to try to see that white hole through, which is maybe not the easiest thing to do. And then we'll just add our little tiny, it's like a little triangle in the center in Bumble Bee. And then I get these out. Let me see. If you're saying anything, please post the pansy chart. I know, Martha, I'm gonna throw it over on my other table so I'll remember. Thank you. Because you know me, Martha. As soon as I finish the video, I forget everything I said I was gonna do. You would have to like message me later. Look at Martha. Please post the pansy chart. Yes, I'm gonna post it. I know, Martha. It's funny how you get it perfect when you think you're not, and vice versa. Definitely. Oh, good. Marilyn says fine on her end. I think you're talking about the sound. So thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Faye. Good to see you. Thanks, Margie. Hey, Cindy. Good morning. Joan. Good morning. Terry. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So now I just need to die cut these out and emboss, and then we will be ready to assemble. I'm thinking because that folder is not going to fit in my mini machine because it's too wide, but let me go ahead and die cut with the mini. It won't take me any time longer, really, because the mini's the one on sale. And it's adorable. Like Terry said, let your niece and nephew and friends' kids and grandkids use it. They'll love it. Okay, so I'm placing my paper. Just trying to remember where the dies are. I'm placing my paper on the cutting pad. And then I will align this die. And I'm going to talk about the dies on the last card more. The dies that go with the pansy. They are really good dies. Really versatile. But of course, there is a die to cut out every stamped flower and leaf, in addition to all these other dies. Now, technically, I can roll this direction as well. So if you're left-handed, you can flip it around or whatever. And sometimes I will do that. I will work from this side and go back to save time, but it's too far away from me right now, so I can't see to do that. But you can. It works both directions. I want to say forward and backward, but that's not really the case depending on where your perspective is. But just one time through, it cuts just as heavy and strong as the big die cut machine. So, no issues there with your like the strength of the machine. And then for the embossing, I usually pre-emboss, but then I'm like, if there is a new person watching, they're like, how did that magic happen? So let me just show this real quick. We have two kinds of embossing folders, 3D and regular. This is a 3D, which all it means is it's thicker. You put one sheet of paper in there, so you can put little sheets or one piece. Some people put two, but I don't like to do that. Do not like it. So I don't. So I won't layer two pieces on top of each other. Of course, the big machine is 120. It's a great thing to get with your starter kit because you get 125 of anything you want for only $99 plus free shipping. It comes with all of these plates, which is everything you need to do any kind of die cutting and embossing, and every size die cut and emboss we sell fits on the big machine. So I'm going to remove the cutting ones because we're not cutting. I'm going to use this gray one, which is only for the 3D folders. There's another way to do skinny folders. So number 2, oh, sorry, I'm going to take off number 2 also. That's just a thin die plate. I'm going to use number 1. Then my folder with my paper inside, and I'm going to insert the folded end into the machine first. You don't want to insert the open end first because it might put too much pressure and crack this here. Ask me how I know that. So number 4 on top, just make sure your plates are always even with each other, and then roll it through. And don't go backwards because then you're putting the folded end through the machine first. Don't go backwards, meaning don't run it through like this and then go backwards. If I inserted it this way from the other side, that would be fine. But there's no need to run it through twice, in my opinion. You get an amazing image from one time through with our machine and folders. So that is the Hive folder, which is in the mini catalog. I think I said that already. And then now we're ready. I heard a beep. Am I hearing things? Maybe it was outside. Okay. Now we're ready to assemble. I'm like, what was that beeping sound? I'm home alone. Okay, so we have our, I'm going to add the designer paper to the embossed Hive paper first over here on the right, and it's 5 inches tall and the paper is 5 1/4. So you kind of, although I'm a little off, but you kind of get an even border on all 3 sides there to the right. I should have just scooted that over to the right a little, but it's fine. And then I'm going to attach my Hive embossed cardstock to the card base. I'm going to add a little more adhesive than normal because it's a thick embossing folder. But when I added this Stamp and Seal, I pressed extremely light so it didn't rip that embossed paper. And then this will go on the front of my card base. Got chunky glitter here from my other ribbon. Let me attach the circle that I stamped with the leaf and greeting to the scalloped circle. Magenta Madness. And then that's going to go on my card with Stampin' Dimensionals. So we have allergies today. I don't know what the deal is. Which I don't usually get allergies, but anyway. So this circle will go partially on the designer paper, more toward the top, and more toward the left with the dimensionals. And then the flowers, I'm going to add one flower flat. So I'm going to do the one flat that I didn't die cut as well, because it'll be against this white and you won't be able to see it as good. And then the second flower with Stampin' Dimensionals, which I'm going to place more toward the bottom. So I'll do a couple of mini Stampin' Dimensionals there because it's going to be hanging off the top of this a little bit. And I'm just going to add the first flower to the left of the leaves a little bit, a little on them, but a little left. And then the second flower will be more the one that the leaves appear to be coming from. Then I have these Bumble Bee Trinkets. Don't forget you can get a free full pack of those with a $50 online order with this host code, or you can just purchase these. With a mini glue dot, I'm going to add one Bumble Bee Trinket. They're so cute. They're just like little metal gold color bumblebees. They're not adhesive on the back, adhesive backed. So I just use a mini glue dot, fold this down, press, pick up the bumblebee in this case, whatever your embellishment is. And that bee will just go down here on the left side of the circle. And then, I'm going to need this again. Sorry, glue dots. And then I'm going to tie a bow and add it with my bumblebee gingham. And then this card will be finished as well. So I'm going to tie a bunny ear bow. 2 bunny ears, 1 in each hand between my thumb and forefinger. All of those thumb and forefingers are pointing at me, so nothing is turned and twisted and pointing away. Tail on the left. On the right, I have it attached to the roll still, but lots of space in between, most importantly. And then you cross the right over the left and then push that same right one down into the rabbit hole and then pull on those 2 rabbit ears. It's going to look not super cute probably, and then you just fix it. So you pull to make the loop smaller or larger depending on what you want. And of course you keep adjusting it until it looks how you like it to look. All right. I'm going to trim that off. Let me see what's going on. Thank you, Jean. She says, love white on white. I do too. Not everybody loves that, which is fine. We all have different tastes. There's a lot of stuff I don't like. But I'm glad you like it, Jean. Yeah, white on white, but then especially if it's like embossed, because it's like white on white, but yet it's different. It's pretty cool. So mini glue dot here for my bow. And that's just going to go right to the right side and just barely below that scallop circle. And that is the card. You guys like it? Hey, Sarah. Thank you. Good to see you. Thanks, Lorraine. Peggy, thank you for sharing. So if you just came on, by the way, oh, did I see Catherine? Hey, Catherine. I'm glad you love your new mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And getting it like as a demonstrator with your discount on top of the sale price is even better. We get our discounts on top of sale prices, which I know Catherine knows. So anyway, here's the second card using Pansy Patch Bundle and Some gorgeous retiring in colors. Stock up today. Stock up today. While supplies last. Or stock up by 1 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. That's a better way to put it. You know. But hey, everybody else may be stocking up today as well. So you don't want to miss out. Okay. Let me see which one. I think I like the bow on that one better. Oh, what I was about to say is, if you just joined, comment on this video to be entered to win the 3 cards I'm making today. And if you share it, go ahead and comment that you did that so I'll know and I'll enter you again. I'm going to use an extra color on this card. Mixed with, of course, a couple, 3 retiring in colors actually. Okay, so last card. This is basic white. By the way, comment on YouTube and Facebook, of course, for those entries. Thank you guys so much. Sharon Spice likes the bee trinkets. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Hey, Lori, thank you for sharing. Yeah, definitely. I think I just said this, but you have to comment that you shared because Facebook and YouTube keep that private. Okay, so let me get this basic white card base out of the way. It's the same size, 5.5 by 8.5. And then the next pieces are petal pink, 5.5. I'm sorry, start over. Petal pink, 4 inches by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4 to go on the front of the card. Then I have a piece of the Misty Moonlight 6x6 designer paper. This is the same design I used on the first card, but I'm using the back side. So the side on the first card is like a, it's not gingham. I can't think of what this is called, but diagonal lines going both directions, creating squares, but they're in a diagonal shape. Almost like argyle, but not exactly. And so the lines are really light. Some of them are light misty and some are basically white, but very thin. Anyway, the other side has just this pattern of almost like little medallions on it, which that's the side we're using. So it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Also, what was I going to say? Also, something about cutting. I lost it. Never mind. Okay. I used, I believe the same. Nope. I used a smaller circle from Layering Circles to cut a white circle and the one size up scallop circle. The scallop is in petal pink, and you can just cut that from the scrap from the layering piece when you are layering and covering up. So that's where I cut that from. This circle is 2 3/8. The basic white circle is 2 3/8. So I have a 2 3/8 white circle from Layering Circles dies and the petal pink scallop. Then I also pre-die cut from Hippo and Friends dies, which are amazing. The smallest label of the rectangle labels with the corners cut off. That's for my greeting. And then what we have here is a bunch of these pansy dies to create flowers. I did literally, this is one of those things that like I thought of in the middle of the night, like, why didn't I cut that pink flower from that layering piece as well, that petal pink? But anyway, so I have, let me grab my chart that I threw over here. We're going to make the large pansy from the die cut pieces and this like bud pansy from the die cut pieces. So I have a Just Jade stem with like the base of the pansy. Then a petal pink flower piece. There's 2 pieces to make this flower, and then a basic white flower piece for that bud. And then for the large one, I didn't cut out the detail dies, which you can cut separately in a different color. But I did cut out one, which Look at the detail on these. It embosses at the same time. Trying to see how this looks on the video. You can kind of see them. I think my lights somehow are too bright, even though they're not pointing at this section. They're not pointing down here. But anyway, so I cut out the one bottom larger section, and then two of the smaller ones that go on top in basic white. To create this flower, I cut out a center piece from Bumble Bee, and then I die cut out two of the detail leaves, which again looks larger. It's a more fat leaf, but I didn't cut the detail that goes on top of it. So this here is two pieces of cardstock on this sample. This is just the one out of Just Jade, but see the detail there that it cuts. I mean, that it embosses. Okay, so here's the two flower dies, the large one. You have to cut this one twice. The leaf is right there. So see how it's just going to cut all that detail at one time. And then, of course, we have the stem, the part one of the bud, and part two of the bud. So tons of dies in this that you can create even without stamping, although there are the dies that cut out the stamped images as well. Okay, so love those pansy dies. Okay, so what I did, I wanted to add some petal pink to these. So I used my petal pink ink pad to these die cut white flowers, which there's 4 pieces altogether. I used petal pink ink pad and a blending brush. This is not a perfect way to apply ink to these flowers because it's harder to control. If you want to control it more with a current Stampin' Up! Product, you could use the sponge daubers, which are little round daubers that fit on your finger. But I wasn't, I don't always, something sticky on the side of my ink pad. There. I don't always think my projects need to be perfect. Okay, so I'm getting petal pink ink on my blending brush. I'm taking some of that off on the scratch paper so it's not too dark. And then I'm going to start on the scratch paper, and on this bottom large flower piece, it looks like a butterfly. So if you place it like a butterfly in front of you, the bottom of the butterfly is the bottom, the top is the top, and I'm going to start at the top and just sponge or roll from the scratch paper onto the project, roll some petal pink on there. You can do as much or as little as you want, but I'm not going to do too much. So basically up there at the top, some petal pink. And then these 2 small petals, which are basically like a triangle shape, starting at the bottom small end of the triangle is where I will start rolling up with some ink. I am going to go almost to the top edge. And I kind of have to put the flower together to see if I have enough ink. And I'm going to put it against this white circle to see how much pink is showing. And I think I need a little more on these 2 top flowers. Again, sponge dauber if you want to be more precise, and maybe you can get very dark with blending brushes, but maybe a little darker or whatever your deal is. You can also do sponge daubers. I think that's good. I just want a subtle center there. And then on this small white die cut bud, I'm going to just add some actually at the top because that's what's going to show. So at this top section here, I'll add some petal pink. Again, not super easy to control. I didn't try scraping it like this, and I don't want to try it now in case that's a nightmare, but that's another thing you could try. Yeah, very good. I think that's going to be better than my original. You can't really see it right now, but when we put it together. Okay, we need a greeting, and then we'll be ready to assemble. assemble and be done with this card. Oh my gosh, I think my video might be shorter today. Okay, so Petal Pink is not a retiring in color. Buy Petal Pink. You can still, I mean, goodbye Petal Pink because that's still available. But Misty Moonlight, retiring. I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. The stamp set comes with a cute Happy Birthday in Misty Moonlight down here. Down here on this white label from Hippo and Friends. And now I'm ready to assemble. I am going to use some Petal Pink Organdy ribbon on this card. Oh, and some Wink of Stella. I'm a hot mess over here trying to put things away. I think I just shouldn't be putting them away because I still might need them. Okay, so for this card, the first thing I'm going to do is attach my designer paper to the Petal Pink. And then this is portrait. All the cards today are portrait, no landscape today. I meant to say that earlier and flew out of my head. Oh, that's wrong. Okay. So attach the designer paper to the Petal Pink, and then we're going to tie this Petal Pink organdy ribbon around the bottom portion of this piece in a knot. So then it's toward the bottom. The knot will be on the left. So I'm going to use my reverse tweezers. Even though it's a knot, it still helps so much to keep the ribbon flat the whole time. You always want to, don't be twisting and turning your ribbon as you're tying bows and knots. Flat, flat, flat. And then it's just a knot though. So, and then trim the ends off of that. In case you didn't know, you should definitely have some scissors that are only for ribbon and then for everything else, because everything else dulls your scissors pretty quickly. Silicone craft sheet must have. I accidentally put adhesive on this before I meant to, so then I can throw it on my silicone sheet. It's not going to stick to it, and it's not going to then stick to other things I have out on the table. I'm going to add a tiny bit more adhesive because my silicone craft sheet might be dusty, and it picked up the dust the adhesive did. Now I can add this to my basic white card base, assuming I have the ribbon as low as I want it or high as I want it. Check that as well. I'm going to scooch it down a little bit. I really probably should have put it on the card base last, but it's too late. Okay, now I'm going to attach my white circle. We didn't do anything to it. It's just a white circle to the Petal Pink scallop circle. And I'm not going to attach that to the card yet, but it's going to go on flat. And then I want to attach the, basically put the flower together with the leaves, the large flower. Then I'll do the bud. So I'm going to add adhesive on the back of the large petal that looks like a butterfly. So up here at the top on the two left and right side. And then I can place these flowers or these other petals behind it. And you can keep, well, if you don't press too hard and all that, you can keep sort of messing with it and positioning them until they look right for you. You can also curl these with a bone folder. I guess I'll do that a little bit. I don't, oh, maybe I did on my first card. So I turned it over backwards so I can see. I'm not, so I can hold it the right angle. Sort of curl those petals up. And then I'm going to add the center. I just like to use my tape runner on the silicone craft sheet. I just put a little fingernail on one little section of it and add some tape runner. but you could use a mini glue dot as well. This is a tiny little center. And I meant to point out that die cuts 3 of those at one time. One die cuts 3. That way, when you drop one, because it cut 3, I used one. Here's one, and I don't know where the third one is. So it's pretty cool that it cuts 3. So the little center, it's almost like a teardrop shape as well. And so you can also use that like if you need a teardrop shape for something else. We got some excess adhesive, so I'm just going to remove that with my adhesive remover. These come in my adhesive kits you can add on to classes. Plus, I also have it in my Amazon links store, which is where the tweezers are as well on my blog. Stamptherapist.com. Okay. I'm not doing my greatest job erasing. There it goes. So there's that part of the flower. Then I'm just going to add some adhesive on the back bottom where the leaves are going to go. Back bottom of the flower, and tuck these leaves behind there. Just Jade. So cute. Love Just Jade. Oh man, probably the Just Jade gold and gold braided ribbon is going to retire too. I love that ribbon. I just thought about that. Okay, so this flower is all together. Let me set it aside and put together the bud. Very simple. I'm going to add adhesive on the back of the petal pink piece, which is smaller. And it goes just right at the bottom of the white piece. I don't know why that's getting blurry close up. Whether maybe, I don't know. Then on the stem with the bottom portion of the flower that's green, I'm going to use my silicone and add some Stampin' Seal at the bottom. On the back of the bottom of the flower, and then stick the petal pink to that. Then I'm going to lay this out on the card. I want this little bud thing sticking out from behind the flower. So I'm going to kind of lay it where I want it. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this flower where I think that will stick, the large flower. I'm like, did I put adhesive in the right place? And now it's all stuck together. This is a temporary sticking together. Don't worry, we'll secure it better. So this is like one piece here, big flower with a little flower stuck to it. But I measured to make sure it's not too tall or too short. So let me attach this. I probably could have done that the opposite way too. But let me attach this circle now flat, the card base based on where that bud is going to be. And then I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of these flower pieces. So first of all, right over where that skinny little stem is sticking to my flower, dimensional. Now that's secure. Overlap where the leaves are stuck on, and then add a few more, and also add one to the bud flower. I think that's all I want. So it's 5 total. 4 on the large flower, 1 on the bud. And that goes on my little card right here. And then the greeting, we'll just have Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, I forgot my Stella. I always forget that. Greeting will have Stampin' Dimensionals. So bring these back in. I'm going to do 4 for 2 reasons, because I like to use less dimensionals than everybody else. But the part of the on each one on each corner is when I place this down, it's going to be half on the ribbon and half off. So I don't want dimensionals only stuck to the ribbon because then it's all floppy. So this way I'm putting the ribbon, the greeting a little bit above the ribbon. It's like half on, half off. So the top dimensionals will stick to my card. The bottom will stick to the ribbon. Now, let me just add some Wink of Stella real quick. When you get your Wink of Stella, you need to unscrew the brush, take the black ring off, throw it in the trash, or recycle it. And when you screw this back on, it will pierce a hole, and then you push to get your ink flowing through. And it's just a clear glitter ink. But don't just push like this and never stop until you see some come out, because half the bottle will come out. It's a slow process, unfortunately. And you have to push. This is what I do. If anybody has a better tip, please share. And put it aside and literally wait 5 minutes. And then come back and try it again and wait 5 minutes until it starts flowing. And you can see it come through. And if you see a bunch in this bottom section, you've pushed too much. And you're just wasting is the reason. Like, it doesn't break your brush or anything, but it does waste. And anyway, it's just waste. That's all. So I'm adding some clear Wink of Stella to the white flower, sort of like in a starburst, just like following the lines of the embossing. I'm not going all the way to the edges. This is a lot of Wink of Stella. I didn't go all the way to the edges, and I just want to start from the center and go out. And I did mean to put it on these flowers before I glued them down, but it doesn't really matter because that part will be hidden, right? So who really cares? I'm saving myself some product there. This first one I did has a lot less Wink of Stella. It's still, here's the first one. It's still there and pretty. I don't think you can see it on the video at all, but it's less. But there is the final card with, this looks brown on the video. It looks fine in person. Let me try to smooth it out. It just looks like glitter in person. At least what I can see on the video, it looks kind of brown. But see how it's just glitter. I tried a different camera today. It's still my phone, but it's a different camera. And I don't know if we like that because I feel like this camera is a little more blurry. Let me know if y'all think, or not as crisp. Let me know if y'all think the stamping camera, this one here, is like not as crisp as normal. Okay, so let me bring in our samples that we made today using these awesome colors. And yes, there we go. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We have until tomorrow to guarantee, hopefully to guarantee, at least try these in colors that are retiring. So go ahead and shop for those now. If you have any questions on anything we talked about today, let me know. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks, Robin. Yay, Janet loves the pink one the best. And I think, Janet, were you the one that said you want to do away with petal? Oh, no, Jean. Petal pink I would like to see different. We were just talking about that recently at my class Saturday, Landa and I, about petal pink. And I'm like, I like petal pink. I just wish it coordinated with our other pinks better. But yeah, so petal pink is like a hot topic. Thanks, Terry. I'm glad you love the colors. Martha says plaid for that designer paper. Marcia, when do I announce the winners? I don't announce them. I just make a comment on the video that they won on, and I tag them or reply to their comment. So it notifies the winner. The way I run my business, I just can't do the, like, And the winner for last week, I just have to get it picked, tag them, and mail it. So I don't really do a big winner announcement, but we do mail the prizes for each week's cards. Unless, like for you, Marcia, if you ever win, I'll just put it with your class packet, if y'all know what I mean. But yeah, so that's how I do my winners. Okay, Sarah, a little less crisp, but you thought it was your eyes. I don't think it is your eyes. I'm going to check it out on replay, Sarah, to see, because sometimes my eyes too can be an issue. But I'm glad you gave me that feedback. If anyone else, wants to comment on, is this video crisp or not? I'm going to see. Oh, no, I didn't want that. Let me see. Okay, whatever. I didn't want to be that close up. Anyway, thank you guys for the feedback. And yes, powder pink was a good pink, Janet. Thanks for watching today. So next week, I believe I'll be back on Thursday like normal, 9 a.m. Central. Any questions, let me know. You see my email running across the bottom of the screen. And okay, Robin says very crisp. Carol says it's a little blurry. And Jean says slightly blurry. Again, I'm with, I think, Sarah. My eyes can be blurry. So I'm like, is that blurry or is it me? So definitely continue to give your feedback on that so we can figure it out. I can use the other camera, but if you remember last week, I could hear myself and it was super distracting and annoying, but I felt like it was crisper. So I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, Robin. Thanks for telling me, that it's slightly blurry. Lori, thank you. Thanks, Carol and Sandy and Della. Carol, thanks for sharing. Thank you, Linda. Oh, Carol was in therapy. No problem. You can check out replay. Thanks, Robin. Good compliment. And Janet. Awesome. Well, I'm sure I missed lots of comments. Janet says a little blurry. Virginia says clear. These technology things, it's so weird how it can be different for each device I guess we're watching on. I don't even know. But keep the comments coming so we can, get it nailed down and get it very perfected, basically. All right. Have a great day. If I'm going to see you at retreat this weekend, I'm very excited. And if you took it to go, it goes out next week in the mail. And it's all being prepared right now. Thank you, Landa and Karen. And, of course, April's doing stuff as well. Landa and Karen are just helping with my stuff. So April and Carol as well. All right. I'm going to see y'all later. Thank you very much. Bye.